my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
hey, welcome in, welcome in. We're back with our Married at First Sight panel recap, season 16, episode 22, first dates and swapping mates. How you ladies doing today?
Just fine.
Doing well.
Oh,
Good.
awesome. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. This weather is playing crazy tricks over here in Michigan. We got about 62, 63 degrees today. It's been raining a little bit off and on. How's the weather where you guys are?
Hot and
Kimberly?
humid.
Oh, Roro. Okay, hot and humid as usual.
As usual.
All right, Kimberly, and she's in Florida. Kimberly, where are you at?
80,
And what's the weather? Uh-huh.
yeah, North Carolina 83 and clear, very hot today.
Oh, okay. And none of that smoke stuff that we've been getting from over in Canada? None of that?
Not today. Nope.
Oh,
I
that's
looks like we may
wonderful.
be clear now.
Okay, what a blessing. What a blessing. And what about you, Mocha Mima Media?
It's good here in Connecticut. It's like 80 degrees out, beautiful out, and not humid or anything yet. It's very nice out.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Wow. Well, yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll get started. This tomfoolery continues for yet another week, guys. Another week. So we'll bring up our first couple on the screen here. Let's slide back here on my controls. We know that we're gonna start with. You guys can pretty much guess if you wanted to make a bet on this. It's gonna be this couple right here, Nicole and Chris. Let me take that comment down for a second. Nicole and Chris are our first couple. Guys, does anybody, is it just me, or does anybody feel that Nicole possibly, when she loves to get together with the couples right now, because it's almost as if she's bragging, boasting, and showing off that she did make it. She made her marriage last for a whole 8 weeks. Like, so does anybody else feel that way, or is it just me? Mocha, what do you think?
Yeah, I think she's feeling herself because they made it, but who's to say it's gonna be much longer? Because I can see that Chris, the expressions on his face sometimes, it's like he's like, why am I here? Why am I in this? That's my opinion about him and her.
Okay, all right, very good. And Roro, what are your thoughts about this situation?
Oh, I'm sorry. I went to sleep thinking about them.
Lord.
I had to wake up. Yeah, to me, it's not gonna last long. Even though she's bragging about it, she seems to be a little out of touch with reality. Because to me, she's just using him for free therapy, free counseling. Only thing she could say about him is, he keeps me calm, he calms me down. He brings me back, and he's gonna get tired of that. It's the same old, thing, the same old thing with her. She just need him to keep her in check, in tune with reality. And
Okay.
she needs to get therapy.
I've got a question. I got a question for you. You made me think of something. Would you compare, do you see any similarities between this couple and him keeping her calm in relationship to last season? We had Justin and Alexis. Do you know how Alexis was kind of like his support person? Do you see any similarities there?
Yeah, we haven't really seen much of her freaking out on him as Justin did with Alexis, though. So I just wonder about that. Like, when she's talking about keeping calm, I think she means when she just loses it pertaining to something else, not with him, as opposed to Justin, who basically was always going off on Alexis.
Right, but still, I guess the thing I'm looking at, the commonality is that support person.
Oh yes,
and
yes.
that emotional someone, an adult person that needs another whole person to regulate them, kind of like also makes me think of Shaq a little bit too, because like, so who in your life is going to be around you 24/7? Like,
Right,
not even
right.
your wife is going to be with you at work, and some settings that are for men only. Like, who's going to be there for you? And same thing with Nicole. What do you think, Kimberly? Thank you, Roro.
You're welcome.
I agree. Nicole is known to brag and want to win. So in this situation, I guess she won. But like you all have said, we'll see how long it lasts. And I agree that Chris just does not look happy. It's something about his look. It's kind of like he's just going along with the flow. Could be
Hmm.
for a check, like we've said for other people. Maybe he's just riding it for the check. But I just don't see this being a long term.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's me. I'm subscribing more innocent, innocuous motives to him, because I think he actually does want to be married. And I guess the thing
Hmm.
that I think one of the things I think why he may be in it to win it, for real, is that they both struggled with past relationships. They've talked about that. I mean, that's all we heard about from them basically, is them trauma bonding over their past relationships. So I think that he may feel like there are things about her, and maybe let's look at this. I don't know, we don't see this, but maybe she's calmer when the cameras aren't around. I noticed, I felt like in this episode she did somehow feel calmer and not as, chatty Cathy like before. So I just say that. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next couple. Anybody else have anything else to say about this couple before we move on?
That's it.
Okay, that's it. Okay, great. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let me get this comment off the screen, and we'll go to this couple here. Um, we're gonna go ahead and do Eris and Jasmine. Guys, let me start back with Kimberly. What did you think about the date that Eris had, and in which the young lady told him when he asked about deal breakers, and she said, "Yeah." She said, "I want someone who attends church and believes in the Lord." And then when she asked him, did he have those same principles, he responded to her, "Well, I think that going to church is good for you." What did you think about that?
Oh, this was a great example of how we have to have our standards and stick to it because you're right. She led with saying that it would be a deal breaker for someone who does not attend service. Eric says that his attending service is going to the mountain, meditating, wherever he is. And then Kendra, which is Eris's date, she kind of settled in that. She was like, "Oh, okay." To me, I would not have just went with the flow on that one, knowing that it's something that is very important to me because I would not want to be going to church by myself while my husband is home sitting meditating in the bedroom or his meditation closet. It's
Right,
not,
right,
that would
right.
not be something I would continue. And it looks like we're going to get another date because he did actually ask her, on the
Oh,
second date, and he halfway complimented her saying that he would be interested if she had got picked for the show. They would be interested in moving forward. So Eris was a little more outspoken and complimentary to her.
right, right. And even our dear Kirby, is saying he's not a churchgoer. I'm gonna jump over here to Mocha. What did you think about his comment, and
Yeah,
how was you taking that? For someone that maybe you love, someone close to you, if they come home and said, "I went on this date and this is what this guy said," what would you have thought?
I would have thought that, like Kirby just said, he's not a person that goes to church,
Hmm.
and 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 I would tell them to really watch him and see where his values and everything align. Because I mean, it's if you're a churchgoer and you meet somebody that says they meditate or come up with something else like that, that's not you shouldn't have to change what you want just so you think you can be with someone.
Right.
You shouldn't
What
change
was
who
it
she is.
I gotta ask you, so because you didn't bring it up. What was something you were saying earlier when we were talking in the green room? What were you saying about to what if you're someone close to you in your family, a young woman was dating this guy? What would you have her look out for, and what would you be concerned about with him being recently divorced?
Just the part he played in that divorce, like in something like this, Married at First Sight. Like what was the part that he played? Like when he,
Mm,
you know, the him not being attracted to Jasmine, like that whole thing, I would think about it. But her, this girl, Kendra, and him are in a totally different situation where now he gets to meet her and he decides if he wants to date her or not. So
Okay,
it's
good
a
point.
different situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but does he bring his whole self to this whole thing, this whole F boy that we've been talking about all season? If those of you that believe that, because I certainly do, I'm not sure that he doesn't bring that to any situation that he's in, no matter how good the girl looks. Robo, what are your thoughts about Eris and Kendra?
Well, I had a whole different aspect on it until I heard what Kimberly said because I guess I missed that part where he asked her out on a second date.
But just
Um,
go with what you were originally thinking. Let's go with
well,
that.
originally I was thinking that he was trying to kind of turn her off, that he probably wasn't attracted to her either, and he was,
Oh,
really attracted to her, and he was kind of trying to turn her off maybe by saying that, even though it's
oh,
true, he's not a church goer, but he,
mm-hmm.
just let her know up front, well, this is not what you're going to get with me, so you might as well give up, so, but, since he apparently asked her on a second date, maybe he has a little bit of more interest in her, but I wouldn't settle for it either if I was her. If that was really what was the most important thing to me, if that was a deal breaker, I would not compromise because you're only going to be frustrated in the long run.
Right, right, right. And what about you? Thank you, Robo. What about you, Kimberly?
Oh yeah, I agree. Definitely would not be willing to stick around. Like I said, getting up on Sundays or whatever day you choose to go to church, and your husband's sitting there laying in bed, and I believe in tithing. So where is he going to tithe to the mountain? So no, that would be a big deal breaker.
Yeah,
Oh,
to the
okay.
mountain. I love it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Right, right, right. And then I guess we got to talk about Jasmine a little. What about this Jasmine situation? She didn't want to be with Clint. She said she did not want to participate in the wife swap. What did you guys think about that? Roro, did you think anything, or did you observe that? And
Jasmine
what were
didn't want to
your thoughts?
participate in the wife swap.
Yes, that was said when they were all out and they were at the dart throwing at the end of the near the end of the episode.
Oh, okay, that part.
When
Okay.
Clint was kind of and I guess Clint was letting us know that he's kind of open to anything. So I think what I'm feeling with Clint, and you guys chime in, I feel like Clint was, he, even though he said he wasn't hurt about the whole Gina and Mac thing, he's a man, and we all know they got like egos that are so fragile. They're like, like some kind of precious glass or something like that. If somebody looks at them the wrong way, they want to cry and fall on the floor.
Uh-oh.
What did you think about that, Mocha? What did you think about Clint just kind of putting it out there and then kind of flirting with Dominique? What did you think about that whole situation?
I think that he was kind of sticking it to Gina a little bit when he did that, and it worked because of the expressions on her face and everything. And I don't think he's really serious about Dominique. It's just
Mm-hmm.
he's just needling Gina. It's just something to do for now, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's going to go anywhere.
I don't think that's gonna go anywhere. Yeah, that is true. I don't think so either. Um, and with Eris and Jasmine, yeah, that, I think that was pretty much. Anybody have any other points? What about you, Kimberly? Did you have any other points about this couple or anything you want to say about them?
I thought it was interesting at the axe throwing date how they were hugged all up. I don't know how I would feel as someone who's dating Jasmine. She's all over, she
Oh
appears to be
yes, good
over
point.
him.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I've been saying she's not over him, and the last few episodes have proved why they paired them together. This is exactly the type of guy, I guess, that she um is used to throwing herself at guys and trying to make them like her, but I just
The
don't see it happening. And now she's still trying to play into that role, like, oh yeah, I'm going to stand here and let. I would not be close enough to that man for him to touch me,
I
knowing
know
that I have
that's right.
moved on and I'm dating others, and for them to look back at this episode and say, wow, where you were dating me and still hugged up with your ex, what's going on there? It's not a good look, and it just proves again that I feel if Eris was willing to give her another chance, she would go running.
Good point. Because I was wondering about too the
Agree.
arm all around her and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, well, why is he more affectionate with her now that they're broken up than he was when he ever was when they were the 8 weeks they were married? That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy to me.
exactly.
Thank you, Edward. I appreciate it. Edward says he shared our video out to his audience because Edward, and by the way, Edward Smart is also a content creator here on YouTube Street. So go check his channel out. He is wonderful. He has a lot of great content about aviators and flying. So that is part of his hobby and his avocation. So definitely go check him out. Yeah. So we'll move on to the next couple, which would be, and that kind of we talked about them a little bit already. That would be moving on to Clint and Gina. So now let's talk about this kiss. What in the world is going on? You know, we see that it was a whole dare thing or a bet. I don't know, call it what you will, but I want to know why did they kiss for more than just tapping lips? Roro, would you like to tell us why you think they kissed for more than just tapping lips? Because I could have seen if they had just said, "Okay, we get these things in, we'll go ahead and we'll kiss." But that's a tap on the lip. But what happened here, Roro?
Well, I think that they probably liked it. Number one, maybe they
Mm,
liked it, but number two, I think
okay.
that it was probably, hey, just to get back at their spouses, to because I think it was a get back, like a revenge kiss. You know, let's show
Ooh.
them.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, especially with right, right, right. Well, especially you're right. You're right. I see that.
Hmm.
I see your point in it. That's a very good point.
But
But
they
then
probably liked it too.
they probably liked it. Okay. I think Clint for sure did.
Yep.
I'm gonna come over here to Kimberly. What did you think about when he said, Clint said, "Oh, he said he's kissed worse." What in the heck? I was totally turned out when he said that. I'm like, you know what? You are a Mitch. You are always sticking your foot in your mouth. Oh my goodness! And your little Clinty poo. Now that's your Clinty poo.
Yes, listen, I'm glad you gave me that one because my Clinty Poo is a character for sure. He's
It's
the
a
life
carrot.
of the party. He knows how to put on a show, and that is all he's doing. I think the comment was well deserved. What he said, I kiss better because before that, Dominique referred to him as a lady. She was like, ladies first. And then he was like, yeah,
Oh
you go.
yeah.
And then, so that was a jab. And what does Clint do every episode? If you jab, he's going to jab harder.
You gonna jab you back. You're right about that. Good point. Good point. I hadn't thought about that, but that is an excellent point. What about you, Mocha? Do you agree with that? Do you think Clint was merely jabbing her back? What did he mean by that comment?
Yeah,
Or did oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
he was just getting back at Gina. He might be, of course, attracted to Dominique because she's young, but it, they're just playing. They're just playing around and everything. And no, and like I
Oh,
said
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
it worked. It worked because Gina felt some type of way.
yes,
Yes, he did.
yes.
You
Good.
could
Oh,
look.
I
You could
saw
see the
that.
look on her face.
Yes,
You could
So do
see.
you
yes.
guys? So you guys all agree? You can say yay or nay. Do you guys agree with High Vibe that both Dominique and Clint were in it for revenge? Do you think
Yes,
that's
Yes.
true?
yes, yes.
Yes.
And I don't blame him. I don't blame
Yes.
him at all.
I
But
want
what
to
about
say
that?
this. I want to say this, guys. I got to jump in because I almost said it when I was talking to Mocha. I think that I just it just occurred to me, and I could be totally wrong, but this just idea just occurred to me that maybe Clint, when he said that he's kissed worse, he might have been talking about Gina.
Yeah.
But
Who's
did
to
you see
say
the
he
look
wasn't
on her
talking?
face?
Right? Who's to say he wasn't
Mhm.
talking about his ex-wife? Because that's who he was last kissing was his ex-wife. Well,
Yep.
okay, yeah, we know he did dibble and dabble after the after the decision day too. So, but besides
Right.
that, let's look at the last real serious person relationship would have been Gina. So I think that was a slight, not only to maybe like you said, Kimberly, that maybe he was making a jab at Dominique in a playful way, but I think it was more so it was a jab to Gina in a real like passive aggressive way.
Yeah, could be.
Yep, yep, yep.
Hmm.
So
She didn't
and then
like it.
no, she definitely didn't like it. And even though she had that big fake smile of hers and those overblown lips of hers, all gingery features, you could tell that she took offense to it, which was great because I think that to me, for her, for Mac and Gina to have done that, I think that was very poor taste and it was very low class. But that's just me. That's just my take on it. But we're gonna move on to our next couple and we're rounding the corner very quickly here. So yeah, that kind of brings us to talking about Mac and Down, which we kind of already have a little bit. What more can we say about this goofy couple? And I don't know if anybody, you guys tell me this. If you watched the after party, you saw that Mac was on the after party, and Mac was saying, once again, he was taking a lot of digs and shots at Dominique, saying, well, it was much better being with Gina, and she's much easier going than Dominique ever was, blah, blah, blah. What are your
Mm.
take on that, Kimberly?
I just think the conversation with Dominique and her mom told a lot because even when she mentioned to her mom that she was thinking about reaching out to Gil, mom was like, "Oh, the firefighter." She didn't say, "Oh, the handsome bald head guy." It wasn't anything positive. It was just, "Oh, the firefighter." So
Well,
I don't think that says a lot. And then
yeah.
even to go further, the video date with Dominique and Gil, Dominique said that production asked her who would she be interested in dating, and she said, for some reason, I don't know why, I said Gil. I would have hung up the phone on her if I was Gil. You don't know why you said me. There's nothing that stands out that made you pick
Yeah.
me. Like it's just it's not gonna go
Mm,
anywhere. And Gil was very dry. Thankfully, I'm glad he was.
he was very
But
dry.
yeah, so I think she should have stuck with McKinley, honestly. If she if
McKinley?
she's going to Gill. If she's going to Gill.
Yeah, because I don't see McKinley either. I mean, like, so one thing can
Right.
be true, two things can be true. Neither one of them are worthy of marriage. But anyway, just my
You're right.
Dusty, Dusty is the
I
worst.
agree.
two Dusties. But what? But let me come over here because I know Mocha always disagrees about the Dusty part. But Mocha, what did you think? What did you see between Gil and Dominique? Was there any real sparks or fireworks? Was he interested in dating a young 26-year-old chickadee?
He ain't interested in that girl. He was like, this is something production set up for the BS. He was just like going along with it because it gave him they probably paid him whatever for that call.
Mm,
That's
good point.
that's why he
Yeah.
went along with that.
Yeah, he got another episode. He got some SAG after payment and
Mhm.
residuals maybe down the road. And then also it adds to his platform. I mean, he's over there. He's social media influencers. You can't pay. That's something you can't pay for to be on national, international TV on Married at First Sight. So, it did give him that clout of being on the show again and being trying to be made relevant again. Which, guys, we're going to talk about that because I want to we're going to talk about it. We'll talk about it in the green room when we get off the air because there's something I talked to a couple of you, but not all of you, about my plans for next week. Okay, so anything else about this couple that we want to harp on? I mean, I got to say this. So basically, Mac just wasted our time with this whole looking at the house. Like, he looked at the house that he couldn't afford. He took a job back in the cannabis industry, which he knew was not a thing in Tennessee because it's not legal in Tennessee like it is in Michigan. And so basically, he just wasted our time looking at this house, which even his best friend said he couldn't even afford. So what was the point?
Yeah, I mean, Mac is, for the birds to me because he knew he wasn't sincere. He wasn't going to stay in Tennessee. I don't care what anybody says. He knew he was not going to stay in Tennessee, and that's why he never rented his own place. And that's why Dominique was like, "No, this is not going to work," because he wasn't showing her anything credible as far as, settling down and making roots in Tennessee.
Right, right, right. I
And
saw.
he has the
I know.
nerve to be angry with her. He acts like he's angry with her, and I don't get that. Why is he so angry?
Men tend to get angry with women when they don't get what they want. I wanna ask you something. So now this is a whole thing too. What do you think, since we got this couple up, what do you guys think about Dominique and Gina dating long distance? Do you think there's any future in that? And I'll since we're on you, and I'm sorry I'm covering you, Roro, over there, but I'm gonna stay with you, Roro, on this question. Do you think there's any future? Do you think that Gina really likes Mac, or is this gonna be just basically some up and down the highway booty call type of situation?
It's probably the second option for Gina.
Hmm.
I don't think that there's anything he really, really likes her like that. I don't think that, I mean, it would be surprising to me if they did it. She said she wouldn't be opposed to it. So I would say it's more, a chance that it could work for her and Mac than for Dominique and Gil, because Gil doesn't like Dominique like that. I think this was again all the production setup. They told them to do and say everything, because remember Kevin Frazier, or who it was, either Kevin Frazier or Pastor Cal, you know, saying that they were going to make Gil the MVP
Oh
of
yeah,
Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight. He sure did.
So that was just
Sure
to get
did.
him back on the screen and give him some kind of credibility, so he can still whine and complain that he can't trust anybody. Why would he even
Hmm.
say that? Because then at first he said that when
Okay.
he tell people that he's a firefighter, the women, that he's a firefighter, it seems to work. And then he started laughing like a hyena. What was that all about?
Okay, so let's ask Kimberly, what was that all about? What do you think about this whole Gina and Mac thing? And what do you think about anything more about the whole thing about Gil being a firefighter and he's got all the women at his feet, basically? What do you think,
Mm.
Kimberly?
Okay, having all the women at his feet, I don't doubt it, because women like Jasmine, we've seen they will throw themselves at men. So I'm not going to say he's not getting that attention,
Hmm.
but with I think you were asking about Gina and McKinley. The
Yeah, are they
long
gonna make it
distance
a series
isn't.
though? Hmm.
No, because Gina's too busy for a long distance relationship.
Hmm.
It just takes a lot of time and effort. And then McKinley is kind of shady like Clint was, but it's just
Yeah.
like a lower level of shade. It's not as sophisticated as Clint. She is kind of
Hmm.
on Gina's level where she can understand exactly what he's saying, but he's still giving all the shade, just like Clint was. So I don't see where they can make it. And on the after party, what McKinley said, that
Yes.
Gina's calls him more than any other woman. I would not have liked for him to say that about me
I
either.
know
And
that's
then
right.
Ugh.
Gina corrected him. She was like, I've called you twice. And I'm like, uh-oh, strike one. So no, I don't think it's gonna
Mm.
work.
Oh, and you just reminded me there was something else that McKinley said about Gina. He basically kind of said, like you said, she calls him more. And then,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you know what it was? He was talking about, or maybe it wasn't on the after party, but long story short, I get the distinct impression from everything that he says, deductive reasoning, that he wants a woman to chase him. That's these new millennial guys. They want the woman to chase them. Like, ain't nobody
Yes.
got time for that. She got a whole
No.
squad that she's trying to grow. Like, who got time to be calling you and checking on you all the time? Like, we can
Right.
check on each other. I'm totally fine with that, but we can check on one another. But he's just like, he's too passive. Like, the thing about a
Mm-hmm.
passive man is just like going to over to who we're getting ready to talk about next. In fact, we'll go ahead and move on to that picture. You take a passive man like this one right here, like Shaq. You take a passive man like Shaq, who's very laid back and wants you to do all the, like, oh, you're so fine, baby. You got a PhD, about to get your PhD. You a PhD candidate. I'm so excited. Ain't nobody got time like that. Like, you're just a regular person like she is. Her father is Kirsten's father is a whole judge. So first of all, you ain't impressing her that deep like that because you're a PhD candidate, especially when you can't afford a home for her. She's not that impressed with you, Shaq. She's just not. But that's what I feel about McKinley. And I think I left out Mocha. I want to come over. Did you have anything to say about the I know we left their picture already, but do you have anything to say about Gina and Mac making it, or anything about Mac at all that you want to add to the conversation?
No, just that I agree with everyone else. That's not going to work.
Mm-mm.
That's just something they threw in there to make the episode go a little longer. That's
Yeah,
not. That's not because Gina, she claims she wants to be married. She's ready
yeah,
for marriage. So
yeah. That's what
that's
she
not. That's
claims.
not. That's not going to work.
But
But okay. And I'm
did
like,
we see
okay,
any
girl.
evidence these last 31,001 weeks and 5011 weeks? Did we see any evidence that she's ready to be married?
No,
Be
there was
ready
no.
to wife?
There's
Hmm.
no evidence whatsoever. But go ahead, girl.
Hmm.
Go ahead, girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Let us
Go
know
go
how it works
ahead.
out.
Go ahead. If you can convince somebody that that's true, knock yourself out. But now to
Mhm.
Kirsten and Shaq, our piece de resistance, the final couple this episode. Um, Shaq, he was having a conversation with Jazz and Eris, and he's like, which I thought it was really interesting because he kept smiling at Jazz, and he was saying, well, your girl Kirsten, she called me and she was checking on me because she found out that my grandmother, unfortunately, sadly, my sincere condolences to Shaq, had passed away, and then he said, well, but. We're gonna meet up and we're gonna get together and we're gonna meet up, but I don't understand why she's just not all over me like white on rice. Like, boy. Anyway, Roro, what were your thoughts about the conversation that he was having with Jasmine about Kirsten? Like, she was supposed to rat out her girlfriend. And what do these men think when you break up with us? Do you think that we're still supposed to be chasing you down? Like, really?
I mean,
What do they think?
I'm so confused when it comes to Shaq because why is he complaining? You are the one who said you wanted to be divorced. The woman gave you everything that you wanted, that you asked for. She said she wanted to stay married and try to work on it. And you said you wanted to be divorced. What are you angry about? I don't why is this so why are they so angry? I'm just so confused. Why is he so angry? Like I'm not going to go back and forth about whether or not we're going to be a friend, or if we're going to be a friend, we're going to be a friend. They oh, I don't know. I'm sorry. Um it's
I'm
too
with
much for
you.
me
I'm
because
with you. We're gonna move
yeah,
over. We're gonna move over to
what is wrong with him? He's still whining and
exactly.
complaining. He got
We're
what he
gonna move.
wanted.
Okay, we're gonna move over to Kimberly. Very good, very good. Kimberly, what are your thoughts about this whole situation when he was talking about his ex-wife that he
You
wanted the
know,
divorce from?
I think he's still stuck on the pride and the ego thing. He's not going to let that attraction thing go, which is why he said no and cried because it wasn't truly coming from the heart and it was so hard for him to do. And I think it was just to get back at Kirsten. And so now he's trying to double back and try to get that second chance that he's asking for. And I could see it happening. I'm not a fan of going back, haven't went back to an ex ever, but I believe that this one I would be okay with because Kirsten still needs that closure. And Shaquille is open to, giving it a true chance this time, I guess, now that he's kind of got her back. And I'm just sad for Kirsten because she should have just kept that door shut. And so now it's going to be the yo-yo, and I believe she's going to get hurt again.
Mhm,
Mm.
mhm.
Mm. 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 Okay, because now thank you for talking about that. I'm gonna go over here to Mocha. Mocha, what did you think about the scene where this poor Shaq, heartbroken Shaq, was just pouring out his heart and how he's not gonna go back and forth. Like, did you have a feeling that this man has ever been in a serious relationship before? Before this marriage?
No, I don't think. I think this was his first relationship. Maybe not his first woman, but his first relationship. And I'm like, why are you? You're the one that said no at decision day. You could have easily said yes and not be going through all this. But you said no. So now you want to try to backtrack. He needs to stop it. He really needs to stop. That just, he just, this whole episode, he was just a total turn off for me. He
Right.
just,
Mm.
it's a
Well,
total
you
turn
see,
off for
well,
his.
let me ask you this: what specifically was the turn off about him? Because what exactly? Like his
Well,
passive aggressive behavior,
his passive,
his
his,
femininity, or what?
all that. And then when they said, I don't know if you want to go into when they met up at the park. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
really?
go ahead,
I'm
start there
like,
because we're gonna
real,
talk
like
about it.
really, you sat there because she wanted closure, which I can understand that,
Yes.
and everybody wants some closure and they want to know why. But for him to sit there and then when they after they were done talking, he says that that she was not nurturing and all that. Like, how do you expect her to be? You just broke her heart on national TV. And I don't mean breaking her heart like she was all heartbroken that you didn't want. Really, you embarrassed her. That's what it was. You
Yes.
embarrassed her on national TV. And then you think she's going to give you some grace and all that stuff. You're lucky she even freaking talked to you. You
Mhm.
are lucky that she didn't
Thank
hire
you.
somebody to come and whip your behind. So you can sit there
Mhm.
and with it. got a lot. He got a lot. He got brass ones. That's what my mother would say. He got brass ones
He got
on his.
brass when he got that mama at home. He got that mama influence in his head and that mama's voice because he's a
Mhm.
mama's boy and he think his poop don't smell bad. That's the
Yep.
problem with that. But you get out here in the real world and deal with real women who are not your mother, didn't go through 24 hours of labor to bring you here. Of course, your mama think you perfect, okay? You're her only
Mhm.
child that's getting a PhD, I probably imagine at this point. And so yeah, you're special and that's wonderful. Like I think my kids are great, but one thing I don't do is blow smoke up their behinds. They're both
Hmm.
regular people with regular issues, and I know their flaws very well. I know which one will do this and which one of them will do that. And I would never sit up if they were telling me about their relationships. I would not sit up and gas them up, nor would I call their spouse up and tell their spouse, hey, you better be more supportive.
Hmm.
You better be
Yep.
more supportive. Like when this person is when your son is talking about this woman leaving her town where she's working to come with to where he's at just to support him in a business meeting, boy, bye.
Hmm.
Kimberly, what did you think about? We're on to now talking about them at the park. When Jasmine, I mean, I'm sorry, when Kirsten went to meet with Shaq, and this whole conversation that they had. Uh, what was it that was missing? I mean, what did Shaq really want?
I think Shaq was just missing sincerity. He's already said multiple times that he can't meet her expectations, and I feel like he can, but I really do think Shaq wanted a second chance. I think he would be open to dating off camera now, and if Kirsten would be willing to do that, and I think he still wants to be friends with her, even though he said he's not willing to do the back and forth. I think he would do the back and forth, and I'm hesitant, but I think Kirsten would even lower her standards. Like she was willing to not get the $1 million house or whatever. So she was willing to meet Shaquille where he is. Personally, I think she should increase her standards now since he played that game. Of
Hmm.
saying no, knowing it was not truly coming from the heart, because Shaquille's reasoning was he was just glad that he made a decision for him finally. And I'm like, pick another decision, pick another struggle that you're not, standing up for yourself in. This isn't the time to say no just because you feel like you're finally standing up for yourself. It was bad timing.
Hmm.
Mm. Wow, that is a good one. Thank you so much for that. And Robo, what did you think about their Gil and Kirsten's Gil? Let you
Mm.
know I put them both in the same category. I'm sorry, but
Right.
Shaq and Kirsten's meetup at the park. I thought that she did a good job to be there and to try to offer him in person her condolences, and as Kimberly pointed out, to try to get closure. And yet this man is still in his feelings. But you're the one that said no. I'm with Kirsten 100% when she said, if you say no, why are you then crying? If you
Right.
say no, why when we have this meeting, this is your time, dude, to get on your knees, to apologize. If you don't get on your knees, to say, you know what, this is what was really going on. I apologize. I would like to try to work things out with you, whatever. But you're not man enough. You're not man enough. But go ahead, Roro. Tell me what your
Yeah,
thoughts are.
exactly. Same as everybody. I mean, I agree with Mocha. I probably would have had to call Peanut and them from, round the corner, for Shaq, because even after she went and sincerely tried to talk to him, and as an adult, person to person, he still pretty much attacked her by, saying, yeah, it was you. When she said it couldn't have been just me, not giving you what you needed. It had to be more to it. And he turned around and tells her, pretty much, yes, it's her. Instead of owning up or being accountable for any part of the marriage not working, he still tried to put it all on her. And that really, I don't understand that. Like, you got what you wanted. What else? Obviously they didn't show us something coming from his aspect. I'm trying to understand where he's coming from. Obviously they didn't show us something, because from everything that I saw as a viewer, it looked as though he got everything he asked her for.
Mm-hmm.
and you're still
He got the
saying,
hot. He got the hot and heavy time. She
yep,
started to warm up to him. We saw her warm up to him. I don't understand these viewers that come on and say, "Well, we never saw her warm up to him. She was so cold." Yes, my opinion. I agree that she started off cold. She did not like his physical appearance. We all know that. But as the days and weeks went by, we saw Kirsten warm up to that man. We saw her run after him when he ran out, when he was all cry and all in his feelings about the fact that he had a mental health breakdown. And, I think he still needs to go get some therapy. But we saw her run after him. She said to him then, and he didn't deny it, that she rubbed his back, she touched his leg. We know that most African American men would not have appreciated some woman just slathering over him the way his mother would. That's not what you do. I was taught that also, that when I'm
right,
with my man, I'm not going to sit up and blow it out of proportion. If he's not crying, I'm just going to under the table do a light rub. Baby, I'm with you. Squeeze his knee. Let him know, baby, I'm here for you. If you need anything, if we need to get up, come on, let's go. But I'm going to let him take the lead. But Shaq doesn't. That's the whole key thing that I see about Shaq. Shaq does not know how to lead. So what Kirsten has been saying, the thing where he can't live up to, it's not about finances. It's not about his looks. It's about the simple fact that here's a man that has no leadership skills. He's passive aggressive and he's petty. Coming over to
yep,
you, Mocha. What do you think?
Yes, I think he's very petty. I think that was all like he just had a lot of nerve. He just had a lot of nerve, and like the scene that we see coming up for the reunion, I'm like Shaq. Like I'm tired. I'm just glad that this was the last time I will have to see him on my TV screen is at the reunion because I am so sick of him. I don't
yep,
want to hear anything he has to say after this. I don't want to see any interviews, nothing, because it's nothing he could tell me to redeem himself. I was on his side, and he was just a disappointment. It's a total disappointment. He's a bitter baby, and he needs to grow up.
yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
There you have it, guys. In a nutshell, that's what we think of this week's episode. We know it looks like they're going to be coming back with some more tomfoolery on our channel next this Wednesday with guys. Did you see the highlights? It looks like they're going to be bringing back some of their old castmates and updating us on them. So they really did not have enough to fill this 6 months of show. That's what I'm feeling. Anybody else feel that way, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, all these
Yes,
50 episodes, I'm over it.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. What were you going to say, Kimberly? Thank you.
yeah, I agree. I don't understand what was the purpose of stringing it out this long because they could have really lumped these three episodes into one.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, times are tough, and times in the economy is hard. When Hank gets his own confessional, like what? The dog?
Mhm.
Come
Yeah, and
on.
a tour of the courthouse in the Capitol.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Girl, I mean, we done just ran out of things to talk about and say. I mean, like, but we'll be back. We got a couple more weeks, 2, 3 more weeks, but we'll be back because we're gonna continue. And I guess we definitely got to cover the reunion because I mean, like, why not? We got this far in this whole thing, right? But
right.
we love you for
Yes.
sticking with us. We want to thank everybody that's here that came through to support us and to support this podcast. We want to thank. I want to especially thank all of our members here, our panelists. Kimberly. Kimberly, tell us a little bit about what you got going on your channel. We'll go over to Mocha when you're finished.
Oh, yes. Thank you. At Kimberly Reviews, I enjoy doing a live watch of Married at First Sight and other episodes like Ready to Love on my channel live while the episode is airing on Wednesday. Be sure to join me 8 p.m. And I also enjoy traveling and just posting a recap of where I've been. And I am a firm believer that we should all be debt free. So that's very important to me. So I'm always preaching and promoting debt freedom and financial stability. So hope to
Hey,
see you over in my comments.
Mhm.
all right. Yes, get over there to Kimberly Reviews right now because she's a go sign up if you haven't subscribed to her and follow her. And like she said, Wednesday we'll be over there live to do the watch where you watch on your own device. And she provides a stunning, gleaming commentary as well as we're always, in the chat making our comments and our observations. And over to you, Mocha. Tell us about what's going on over on your channel right now.
I cover hot topics and celebrity news, and I do some investigative duties. Like I have a video series now about Peter Thomas from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. He was
Say what?
Cynthia Bailey's former husband.
Right, right.
Some stuff about his Bar One franchise, about the one in Baltimore. So come over
Okay.
and check that out. I got receipts and the whole 9 yards.
Oh my goodness, she
hmm
got receipts. And you're also covering the Bravo show. What is it? Summer
Yeah, I also cover Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, which is a great
Martha's
show. If you
Mm-hmm.
haven't watched it, please watch it. It's Black excellence. One of the characters hates that term, but I like it. Black excellence that
Yes.
comes to visit Martha's Vineyard. So it gives you some Martha's Vineyard history on that show. So please watch and support. Hopefully they'll get a second season, and hopefully they'll get a reunion as well.
Yes, that would be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. And
Mhm.
guys, I'm doing on Thursday nights. I also cover TV One's new hit show, The One. It's a dating show which features a black bachelor and a black bachelorette. Brent, if you recall him from Ready to Love fame, and then Ashley. I'm not sure where they found her, but she's absolutely stunningly beautiful. She's a chemist, and on Thursday nights at 5 minutes to 9, so 8:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live and you watch on your own device. And we do the same thing that Kimberly does with Married at First Sight on Wednesdays, except I do it on Thursdays and it's at 8:55. So join me for that. Think about becoming a member of my A team. I appreciate all of you guys being here. We love you so much. We're gonna shimmy and shake on out of here, guys. So go ahead and start your goodbyes.
Take care.
Bye
Take
bye.
care. Happiness is a choice. Choose well.
Choose well. All right. We'll see you back here next week on Father's Day Sunday. We'll see you then, guys. Love you. Bye now.